Jesus is the Messiah. And the Messiah was not just a man. Even the ancient Jewish scribes held him to be more than a man. That when he came, the son of David would be greater than David. And that he would be Lord of David. That he would be divine. That he would be God that became man. And that's exactly what happened. Now, what do the people say about Jesus? That doesn't really matter. What do you say about Jesus? You personally, what do you say about Jesus? And if you're not a Christian, I hope that these words will haunt you and haunt you and haunt you until you answer. But I will warn you, Jesus in His own teachings does say that when you hear something like this, there is a character in the Bible that happens to be real and personal. It's called Satan. And that when someone hears something like this and doesn't pay attention to it but seeks to dismiss it, then Satan himself comes by and snatches it out of their heart so that they not think of it again. That's why Jesus said, be very careful of the things that you're listening to, because to whom much is given, much is required. Who do you say that this Jesus is? Now, here's something else that I want you to see that is very important. Look in verse 16. Simon Peter answered, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus said to him, blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, because flesh and blood did not reveal this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. Now, I've stood here for the last 20 minutes and spoke about the Messiah, spoke about Jesus, given you certain evidences, and even although that is helpful, what you need to understand is that to truly believe in Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior in a saving way, it is a work of God the Father. That's what He tells Peter here, this apostle. Peter, you didn't think this up. You just weren't convinced. This is something supernatural. God opened up your heart and He revealed this to you, Peter. Now, here's what I want to ask you. How can you know? If you're in agreement with me right now in everything I've said, how can you know that that affects you in any way? If I walked out on the streets and gave an interview, I'd find all kinds of people say, yeah, I believe He's the Son of God. I believe He's the Son of God. Yeah. But then if I looked at their life, would I see any evidence whatsoever that they actually believe this stuff? I want you to think about it. There are people here today in our world who would acknowledge that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and the Messiah, and yet when they die, they will stand before God, will be judged, and will not enter into heaven, but be condemned to separation from God throughout eternity, even though with their mouth they have said, I believe that Jesus is the Son of God and the Savior of the world. Because they really didn't. It was just something they were taught. They learned it from their mom or their dad or their grandmother, or they became intellectually convinced, but they never truly did believe. They never came to a point where they meditated upon this, they thought upon it, they held on to it, they fought with it until they come to the realization that this is true. And because of that, their life was never impacted and their religion was always external. It was always just something that, well, I go to Mass or I go to the Lord's Supper like we're going to have next week, or I do this, or I go to church, or I sing in the choir, I do this. But when you look at the inside of their life, there is no genuine love for Christ and their lives are not transformed by Him. He is not the center of their lives. He is not in their thoughts. He is part of a religion they have adopted or inherited. But there's no transformation.